A good day to you. I'm Shanali from Behind Me International Media, and you are watching a special report. Now, as you all know, Ontario and Canada is taking a few turns in the past few months, and in a few days' time, we'll be facing a provincial election as well, called by Doug Ford an early election. So, to get more details about the political front, with me today, I have a special guest who is Mr. Nagamani Logendralingam, who is the chief editor of Udayan newspaper and also the senior board of director of Behind Me International Media, to give us an overall picture of the political front in Ontario. So, Mr. Logan, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us today.
Thank you, Sonali. Thank you, you two and your team, and good to have them in my office in Scarborough to discuss about the provincial election and our neighbor USA,
Yes,
President
that's right.
Donald Trump.
Now, Mr. Logan, you have been in Canada for a really, really long time now, and I'm pretty sure that you have a better knowledge about how politics were, how the economy was.
But I didn't say
Canada.
that.
Well, prior to the discussion that we've had, from the knowledge that I gained from you as well, you have a lot of knowledge about how the economy has changed over the past few years. So, considering the previous politics and after Doug Ford took over as the Premier of Ontario, how did you see the political front and the economy actually change in Canada coming to the year of 2025?
We do worry about the fall of economy in the province, not only in the province, federally, the nationwide. Even the federal government also struggling. So now the early election was announced by the Premier. He got the approval from the Governor of Ontario, and it's already dated for 27th.
That's right.
So we all are busy. You all are busy as a media people. We all are busy. All the candidates are approaching us to promote them, to expose their views and the intention of what they have if they capture the governments. According to my observation and my experience and my stay in the province more than 34 years, I am very fortunate to be here. When I landed, next month I started meeting politicians. The people who knew me that I am a journalist and I am interested in politics. So we started the newspaper in few months. So since that, I have been traveling with the politicians. I have met thousands of politicians. Some politicians, the elected members, they complete their terms and they leave. And we see the new faces. And they became our friends. They become, and we travel. So it's a good experience, and that's why we are able to gain some knowledge and we see I cannot share or tell you the solution for the issues. We are journalists, right? When I came here, there are 4 parties here in the province. One is PC, the Conservative, Liberal, NDP, and the Green Party. The Green Party is a new one, not 30 years old, I think. So I respect all the parties, all the leaders, all the candidates. I have to because they running an election to be elected because they want to do something to the community, to the province, and to the nation. So this election, as I said before, it's early election. Premier and his colleagues, MPPs and ministers, they together decided to request the governor to dissolve the government. So it happened. Now they are fighting. There's a fight going on. Who is going to be the next premier? Who is going to form the government? And who is going to continue the current projects which were implemented by Doug Ford's government? Yes. Liberal and the NDP, they say they didn't want the election. Even during the House of Commons debates, they said we don't need election. You have few months or 1 year, you complete that. Yeah, but the date was it was dated. The election was dated. So now a new challenge to the province as well as the government, I mean the country of even Prime Minister is leading the fight against USA, Donald Trump's, his tariff issue. No one knows how it's going to be affected, how the Canada going to be affected, and what is going to be, one is going to implement, and what are the good things and what are the bad things to happen. So they are waiting, he put off for 1 month implementing it.
Yes.
So before that, the election is going to take place. So Doug Ford started a campaign with a slogan called "Canada is not for sale." It's a good thing. He's thinking nationwide, not the provincial wide. If anything happened to the country, it affects the province. If anything happened to the province, it affects the country because it's the largest province in Canada. And people or the leaders or elected members say it's a economic machine for Canada. Ontario is the economical machine to run it's an engine to operate Canada, Yeah. So it's very important. Many news, we have information. You must have heard the Ontario supply the electrical power to USA.
Yes.
And the automotive industry, it's a common industry which USA and Canada worried about. It's if that automotive industry collapsed, there are so many people who are going to lose their jobs. So there are so many things, but we are media people. We can discuss. We have a limit to say, right? So the election, Doug Ford, according to his statements and the reports, Doug Ford is leading the poll. The poll, it says, and also he is urging the Ontarians to re-elect the government under his leadership to complete the current, projects, whatever is going on. Like there are many, subway system, highways and housing, and so many. And hospital, they are building hospitals, they are renovating schools, right? Other two parties, I like them. Actually, Ontario was under Liberal ruling. It was ruled by the Liberal premiers, and once by the NDP. When Bob Bray, now he's in UNO representing Canada in United Nations. He was the premier. Only once they captured the government, and after that only Liberal and Conservative. Even Liberal government, we have seen many premiers. It's not. I don't want to compare the parties. I will see what is the current situation. Being the previous, former premier, Doug Ford is able to say something. He is capable of announcing something because he did something, and he has the intention to do more. So his propaganda is attracting the Ontarians.
One question for you, Mr. Logan. Now, we said that, Trump's tariffs and all the attacks that he's putting economically, challenges on Canada, whoever the leader comes, they can't avoid this. Somebody has to tackle this. But it's how they tackle these issues, right? Now, as of my knowledge, Doug Ford is putting into place some ways or retaliatory efforts that might hinder the US-Canada trade relations. So, in your opinion, as a journalist, considering the factors around, do you think that that's a good idea?
You know, now the Premier, Doug Ford is the Premier of Ontario.
Yes.
He's still the Premier. You know, the Canada's Premier's forum, he's the head of the association, the Premier's Association, he's the head. That they have the right, or they have the right to meet American, Trump's senior officials, like secretaries and other seniors. They visited once, and it was failed. Because it was nothing fulfilled. Even the Trump's intention to have Canada to be the 51st state, yeah. So, because when the premiers were raising the questions or they wanted to ask something, the Trump's representative, they never said anything. They didn't open their mouth, they didn't want to talk because it looks like they are very serious about that. And Trump has said, so until now, I think any president of USA has never said that we are going to use the military power. We are not going to use the military power. We use the economical power to teach a lesson. I don't know. I don't want to go deep into that sector or thing. That is something like administration. Let Prime Minister to fight against Trump, but he is also standing up. He looks like a fighter, and he made a visit with the other premiers to Washington, and they had discussions. I said before. There are two other parties, Liberals and NDP, and Green Party. It's very soft. They can easily gain more seats. So they are, you could see that their percentages of the support is about 5 to 6%, but it's a little growing. I see. It's a different thing. But the Liberal and the NDP leaders, they don't want to talk about the US issues. Trump's the threats. But as a premier, he has a responsibility, to say something. Also, he acts. So it gives people to have hope on Premier Doug Ford. I think that's why their support is going up a little gradually. So we have only 1 week for the election day. Advanced polling started. People are more interested, and I don't say the Liberal and NDP have they both given up. They're working hard. Everybody, they have hope. So, but wherever Premier Doug Ford goes, he looks like a fighter. He's not pretending. No, he's a real fighter. Whatever he wants to say about US and Trump, he's bringing out. He's not. He's bringing out everything. So he became an enemy of United States too. You remember in the news, they never respected Trump. I mean, Doug Ford in the meeting. Yeah, it happens. It happens in our group, in our community. Same thing. It's a country. So even though he has not given up, we'll see. Wait and see. And we have some candidates we have to mention about in our area, and conservative candidates, Mr. Logan Kanapathy and Vijay Thanikasalam. They used to be in the previous government. Vijay Thanikasalam was associate minister, and Logan Kanapathy was a parliamentary secretary. So they were holding some important positions, through which they can serve the community and to the province. They are always with the community, Sri Lankan community and the Tamil community and South Asians. And Mr. Aris Babiki, an MPP, and Minister Raymond Cho, and David Smith, all PC. In Scarborough, most of the ridings are conservative, so they all running again. So as a in my experience on my travel, whoever in being elected, they become my friends. I can't avoid it. It cannot be avoided, because some people say, we can't avoid it because they need us. And whenever even some parliamentarians, elected members, they support media. Yeah, they want the media to be existence. They want to support. And I remember Premier Doug Ford in a recent meeting, I was telling about the struggle we face, especially print media, and I am one of the vice president of the Ethnic Press and Media Council of Canada. I said, even our president Thomas Aras mentioned about Premier. He said, Logan, don't worry, when we come back, we'll have some plans. So it's a hope. So if other party capture the government, we will go to them. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yes.
because we will wait and see. But at this point, the common people's opinion, why we should give another opportunity to Premier Doug Ford to complete his vision and some changes to develop and the province and increase the job market and fight against Trump's threat. So province is waiting to be the right people to capture the government. In between I mentioned these names, Logan Kanapathy, Vijay, and they have the support. They are, during their government, they are very close with it. Even in the election, they are working hard. They are meeting the community, and I want, and you want, most of the people, they want all to be re-elected. And as I said before, we can't compare the parties, right? The parties, their responsibilities and their leaders should attract the people, I think they are trying the best, but only what I don't like, blaming the previous government. I don't like it. All three parties are doing. I don't do it. I don't like it. Openly I am saying. Even I have openly said to some candidates, forget about the previous mistakes, right? Be honest and true. That's all.
My final question to you, Mr. Logan, now a message to our voters. Now people are kind of swaying, even the strong liberal parties are rethinking their decision. Okay, because of the current economic situation, the challenges that we are facing, it's a challenge for them also too. So in your opinion as a journalist and with your engagement with the community and the political environment also, who do you think will win this election? Who has a stronger upper hand?
Oh, the provincial election?
Yeah.
No, that cannot be said now. You know why? Even now, people are struggling. The grocery prices.
Yes.
That's why the NDP government only saying the grocery rebate will be given to each family. They are the only ones saying that. But Duckport's government has given announced many positive things to the they eliminated some fees, the licensing and number plates, but I asked one NDP candidate how Premier Duckport could able to do this. He said, the candidate said, no, he eliminated the fee, but he reduced the health funding. Because we don't notice that, no?
Yeah.
So there are so many things they are to criticize the other parties. There are so many things they are to criticize Duckport. But Duckport and his party and his candidate has to educate the people, make them to have trust on their party, but we cannot hide, middle class family are struggling to eat, to meet the expenses, housing. As you do worry, I am also worrying about that, if we don't say that we are stable. In Canada, governments are struggling, right? So one side fighting, federally they are fighting, parties are fighting who is going to be the next Prime Minister. Provincially, candidates and parties are fighting who is going to be the next Premier and the government. But people in whole, they have so many questions. I don't know, I have no answers for that. I am also expecting the politicians who are going to be elected from them some good news and good actions, good proposals. That's all.
It's just
Am
have
I
to
right?
hope for the best. Yes. All right. Thank you, Mr. Logan, for giving that overall picture of the political front and what to expect and the actual situation as well. Thank you so much.
So if I miss anything, ask me.
I think this is all the time we have. Probably again
Yeah,
when more challenges come.
All right. Thank you for the time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to media, Behind Me Media International and their team and the President Kana.
Thank you for watching Behind Me International Media with that special report. We'll keep you updated with more updates and more news with the upcoming elections coming really close. Ontarians, vote carefully and all the very best.